Hey everybody, welcome to the Period Yogi. Today we have a class for phase 2 of your cycle. That's your follicular phase. So in this phase, we're feeling better because menstruation's over, right? And our hormones are on the rise in preparation for ovulation. So you've got estrogen coming up, you've got testosterone coming up, and more than likely your energy levels are a bit higher, and you're feeling pretty good, hopefully. So we're going to find some movement through the pelvis, do a little breath work. I've just got one little prop here. It's the mini roll. If you remember from the last class, it's just a hand towel folded in half long ways, secured with 2 rubber bands, little DIY prop. So let's start seated. Any comfortable seat. You can sit up on a blanket if you want. We're going to come into some seated cat-cows. And think about as you move through the spine here. So we'll inhale, come forward, kind of arching through the back. And then as you exhale, I like to rock back on my sitting bones and really round as much as I can through the spine. But I want you to think less about spinal movement and more about your pelvis sort of tipping forward and back. So we're finding a lot of movement through the pelvis here. So inhale forward. You can do whatever you want with your arms, whatever makes sense. So some of the stuff we do here is really just about going for the feel instead of any particular look. Because we've all got different bodies, different sizes, different shapes, so there's no perfect pose here. We just have to make the practice work for us where we're at. Let's do one more and then we're going to switch the legs. So just come to center, do a little switch of that cross there, and then we'll keep going. And you can find the pace that works for you. You might be going slower than me. You might be a little faster than me. All right, we're going to do a couple more like this. And then the next time you find that rounded shape, let that be the stopping point, and then we'll come back up to center. Good job. All right, we're going to come into a wide twist. So bring your feet kind of wide, flat on the ground. We'll drop both knees over to the right so that your left knee winds up sort of in the bottom of your right foot, and then keep rotating your chest to the right and come into a twist here. We're not going to stay very long, so this first one will stay an extra breath or two just to get the feeling of the shape, and then we'll start to move with our breath. So let's come through center and then exhale, other side. Take a breath or two in the twist. Good. Now we'll get a little quicker with it. So we'll inhale through center, exhale in the twist. Inhale through center, exhale to twist. So again, find a pace that works for you. And if this breath is too fast, you got to honor that. Go a little slower. So remember, inhale through center, exhale into the twist. Okay, this is our last one off to the left, and then we're going to come back to center. Bring the knees over to the right. So we're going to do a little mobility challenge here. Without your hands, see if you can lift those hips up, sit back down, knees to the left, lift the hips up. You're on your knees and your shins here. Sit your booty back down, to the right, lift, sit, knees to the left, lift. We're going to do one more round. Do what you want with your arms here. You can use them to help. Okay, last one. Good job. All right, sit back down. We'll take our legs wide. Mine don't go all that wide. This is about as wide as they go. So you might be in a wider seat than me. You might be a little closer together. It's all good. Find somewhere where you can sit up tall though. So if you feel like you're really rounding through the low back, grab a blanket and give yourself a little boost. We're going to work a little bit of breath here through movement. I want you to keep your head facing forward. We'll twist to the right. That's an exhale. Come through center. Inhale, exhale, twist to the left, right? So I'm sitting upright, not folding forward. So the emphasis is really on the exhale. The inhale just sort of happens. Remember, keep your head facing forward. A few more rounds. Good. Come back to center. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Grab the outer thighs. Help the legs together. Bring your hands behind you and just give the legs a little release side to side. And from there, we'll make our way into tabletop. So just come on out, hands and knees. Get the knees right under the hips and the hands under the shoulders. And we'll take a few cat-cows. So just inhale, drop your ribs towards the floor, lift your gaze forward. And then as you exhale, think about the belly button, drawing up to the spine. You're rounding as best you can and feeling like you're pressing the floor away. Do a couple more rounds like this. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Good. Make your way out to neutral. We'll step our right foot forward. Make sure that that little roll is nearby because we're going to use it. So right foot comes up. We're making our way up into a low lunge. So if you have sensitive knees or you're on maybe a hardwood floor and your mat's not too thick, you might want to grab some extra padding for the back knee to make that comfortable. But we'll go ahead and come on up. Bring the roll. We're going to lift our chest away from the front thigh so that we can wedge this mini roll into that hip crease, and then we're going to come forward into the lunge. So want that front knee over the ankle. We're not dropping as far as we can into this lunge and just hanging, so come up out of it a little bit. And then from there, with that roll wedged in, we're going to rotate to the right. So I'm just going to hook some part of my left arm or wrist outside the front knee. And then if you want, you can extend your right arm back. Maybe you bring your right hand to the low back. Find somewhere comfortable so that your shoulders can relax and not work too hard. And we'll take, about 5 breaths here. And just see if you can start to soften a little bit into the twist. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, come back to center. Bring your hands to the floor, and we'll just start to straighten that right leg out a little bit to make our way out. And to release. Grab the mini roll, just bring it up to the top of the mat. And then we'll scooch the right knee back. Take a round of cat-cows. Inhale and exhale. And let's get ready to do it on the other side. So step your left foot up. We'll get set up for our low lunge. So in your low lunge, you want to make sure that your back knee and your front foot are about hip distance wide, so you're not too narrow. And then we'll lift the chest up. Coming along with us is our mini roll. Wedge it in, so you might need to lean back a little bit. Kind of wedge it up in there as best you can, and then bring the chest forward. Drop into that left hip a little bit. And you might need to rearrange. Like if you don't get it right the first time, you can always come out, rearrange, see what needs to change. Good. And then when you're ready, things feel good, you can start to find that rotation to the left, hooking the right arm outside that front knee, and then maybe reaching back or just maybe bringing that hand to the hip, somewhere soft to relax. And just kind of fine tune it, right? See if where you're looking feels right for your neck. Maybe you change that up a little bit. We'll take about 4 or 5 more breaths. And see if you can allow your belly to release a little bit more. Nice job. Let's make our way back to center. Hands to the floor, and then we'll just slowly straighten that left leg out a bit. Good. Mini roll, toss it off to the side. We're done with it. Left knee can come back, and let's come into a child's pose. So take your knees out wide, and then reach your arms forward. And you can rest your head on your mat, or maybe sometimes I like to stack my arms and rest my head on my arms. Well, you got the space here, so go ahead and take, a couple more really big breaths and feel your rib cage expand, feel your belly expand. Good. Let's start to make our way back up. All right, there you have it. Phase 2, follicular phase. Next time, I'll see you in a class for phase 3 of your cycle. That's your ovulatory phase. Good job, everybody.